What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ariel if you didn't know. So today's video is going to be a full-on tutorial style. I haven't done anything like this really for lashes, but I wanted to record a full set of lashes for you guys so you can see how I do my lashes from start to finish. I've obviously sped up some parts so we're not here for forever, but I did a full volume set on my beautiful model that you will see in a minute. She has very strong lashes, very long lashes, so this is like a super dramatic set. It's definitely more towards like a mega volume, especially with the end result. It's super dark, super dense. It's very dramatic, so definitely stay tuned for that, and yeah. Okay, so this is my beautiful model. She has stunning lashes. I'm going to be using our Flourish gel pads. This is the thin one. They fit under her eyes a little bit better, so that's why I use the thin ones on her. But we also have the thick one. You can check those out at our website. So I'm going to start at the outer corner and apply inward. These aren't going to get all of her lashes, but they're going to get a nice chunk of them and kind of just pull them down. There's going to be short ones there that are going to be sticking up closer to the actual waterline, and those ones are going to be taped down. I only use the pads to get the big lashes. That way the pad is not so close to her eyes. As you can see, they will not be poking her in her eye, and she will not be getting red or irritated from the pads. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead with my tape. This is my 3M tape. It's nice and thick, so I take this and I rip it in two. That way you don't have to use a ton of tape, and then it's not super thick. You kind of get double use from one. So I'm gonna take the tape and I'm gonna start applying from the inside of her eye, and I'm gonna tape down those bottom lashes. So I'm gonna tape diagonally downward, and then I'm gonna go on the other side and tape diagonally downward as well, coming from the outer edge of her lash. Does that make sense? I feel like it makes sense. Okay, so this is her all taped up, ready to be applied. I'm going to take my mascara wand and just brush through her natural lashes, separating them, getting her ready for a prime. I'm going to go ahead and take my primer. This is just like a primer I have. I actually got certified with this primer. I'll link it down below. I'm going to take 2 micro swabs, and I'm going to apply my primer on my micro swabs and then just kind of thoroughly brush through, getting the top and bottom of the natural lash all the way from the outer corner to the inner corner. You do want to make sure that you don't put too much in one spot, because then it can get into your client's eye. So that's why you just kind of lightly dust it through the natural lash from root to tip. You do want to make sure you get the bottom all the way to the top, because this really will clean off any residue from your client's lashes and make sure they're nice and clean for an application. Once this is done, sometimes the lashes tend to get a little stuck together, so you want to go ahead and take your mascara wand and brush them through again just to separate them out before they dry. They will dry and separate, but you do want to separate them before that happens, and then that way you get a nice clean base to start. So I'm going to be using my Flourish Lashes Infinite Bond. This glue is my absolute fave. It has a 2 to 3 second drying time, ideal in a 40 to 60% humidity range, and literally my retention is absolutely stunning with this. So I'm going to link that in my description as well. You can check those out at flourish.com. I'm also using my 90-degree tweezer and my isolation tweezer to do this set with. My 90-degree tweezer is literally my absolute fave. I never ever get a fan to come out the way it comes out with my 90-degree with any other tweezer. It is my absolute go-to tweezer. Okay, so I'm gonna start on the inner corner of her lashes and then just work my way out. I'm gonna speed this up so you guys can see, but really I just go from the inners, doing the shortest lashes, and then go through to the center, or maybe like quarter way to the center, and then I kind of jump to the outer corner, but you'll see that in a second. So as I'm working, you'll see that I take this little drying apparatus here. It's like a little air pump. You can find them on Amazon. Again, I will link it below, but I take this and I just kind of throw a little air onto the lash while I'm working, so that way you can get a nice quick dry and I can quickly move on to the next lash, especially when I'm working side by side, because you never want the lashes to get stuck together, and that happens when you work on the next lash beside the one you just placed without it properly drying. So this is just a nice quick way to dry that one off before I apply another one, so we don't have any stickies. And this is just a quick view of where I'm at. I just finished up the inner corners. You can see like the change of lengths and how it's starting to really take a shape. The inner corner is super important when shaping your lash. So I love to kind of take a step back and make sure that they look good and have a really nice shape going on. This is honestly just a view of what it really looks like, what my hand looks like, and then kind of how I'm working, just so you can kind of see exactly what's going on, not just the lashes, but this is exactly how I work with my glue ring, with my strip on my hand. It's the easiest way for me, but everybody's different. So you definitely gotta find what works for you, but I've tried a good few ways, and honestly, the strip on my hand is the easiest and most efficient way for me, to be honest. So that's what I love. And it's just lash on lash on lash on lash. Quite a boring process to somebody who is not in the industry, but I absolutely love this. Okay, so now I'm doing the outer corner of her lashes. The reason I'm doing the outer corner instead of just kind of following through is because the outer corner and the inner corners are always the hardest. So I like to get those out of the way, especially for her particular eyes. I find that her inners are super easy to do. Her center of her lashes are super easy to do. They're very easy to isolate, so I do want to get the hardest part out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and do the outer corners and just kind of get that out of the way, and then jump back into the center, and then I can just finish it off like that. Okay, I'm going to speed this up just so you guys can kind of get the idea. Obviously this is a super long process, but I mean, this is just for the sake of the video, but I'm going to speed it up so you guys can see the difference between her natural lashes and having those extensions on. Okay, so now we're all done. If you notice throughout some of it, I actually took the tweezers and would separate the fans once I put them in, because you don't want them to stick to the ones beside it. I just want to make sure everything is individually isolated and no stickies in between. I'm just gonna go back in with my little air dryer, my little pump of air, and just kind of run it through both lash lines, make sure everything is nice and dry, make sure everything is good to go, and then that way when I do go to brush them out, they don't pop off. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just take my mascara brush and brush through her full set, make sure everything is nice, make sure you can comb through properly. Okay, so this is the final set. Her lashes look freaking stunning. They're super dark, super dense, super dramatic. Her eyes are really big, so they can handle this. And like I said, the reason that they're so dramatic on her is because her lashes are super strong. They can handle such a dramatic lash. I don't think I mentioned it before, but I did use a 0.05 M curl. That's why they have such a sharp shape. And yeah, that's why they look fantastic. Okay guys, that is it. That is the end of my tutorial style video. I hope you guys like this. If you guys have absolutely any questions at all, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I'm going to list as many products as I can in the description so you guys can see absolutely everything I used. Yeah, that is it. If you guys like this style of video,